Hello there, App Spy viewers, my name's Peter and I've got a hands-on video for you. This time it's with the Taekwondo Game. So this is nowhere near coming out. We've got ourselves access to a test flight build, so don't go looking for it in the App Store. This is a fighting game, basically, a full-on fighting game that's all about Taekwondo, and I think that it's pretty darn brilliant, actually. So I don't really like fighting games very much on iPhone, iPad, that sort of thing. I tend to find that touchscreen controls don't really work when you've got like King of Fighters or Street Fighter or something like that, where it's all about, you know, quarter turns and stuff like that. I just don't think that really works. But this has been simplified down to left and right, and then a few sort of inputs on the bottom right. So you can see my arrows there, look, at the bottom left, that's my left and right, and you will do a lot of positioning. That's a big thing in the Taekwondo game. Above those arrows is sort of a neutral block, basically. Neutral blocking will kind of block anything that gets thrown at you, but it'll also use up your stamina. So you can see I'm holding it at the top left. You can see my stamina bar is just kind of falling down. The game is based on points rather than knockout, from what I've seen so far. So you'll see that, you know, number 2 came up there, and number 4. If you get hits in the head, then they're worth more than hits to the body, essentially. So yeah, neutral blocking will do that, but you can also block high and block low by adding up or down from the bottom right of the screen to when you're doing your neutral block, and that gives you, you know, a bit more kind of a moment to react, essentially. I'm knackered there. So I ran out of stamina, and therefore I was like, oh, I'm so tired. And that means that you can't attack or block, so you don't want to get to that situation. So you want to use your positioning a lot more. You see, I just managed to dodge out the way of that kick. You want to use your positioning, and you want to use your block kind of sparingly, and then when you know that you can like get a kick or a punch or whatever in, then that's the point that you think, yeah, do that. It's all about kind of seeing if you can find an opening and sort of capitalizing on it, basically. You can play defensively, you can play sort of very aggressively, and you can play a kind of mix of both of those things. But one of the techniques that I've found definitely works is kind of keeping your distance, giving them a bit of space, letting them wear themselves out, you know, blocking when needs be, and then a big flying kick to the head. Brilliant, like that. And also, when you're in the middle of a fight, you can press away and the down arrow, and that'll spin round. That'll give you a point, but it'll also get you out of the way of things. So you might also see that there's a symbol with an S. If I hold that, it's like a counter-attack, essentially, and it kind of goes through most attacks. It's pretty useful, but you've got to be really skilled to use it, or lucky, I suppose. And then at the end of the round, at the end of 3 rounds, you see how many points you've got, and then you win, like I've just done there. And then bottom left, you'll see different little different icons. Just hit the the tongue one, and that's giving me a little bit of a little bit of a dance, showing off there. I could have pressed something else, and that would have done a different kind of reaction. This is actually the single player experience that I'm showing you. Let's go back out this. There is also a multiplayer, which isn't available at the moment because obviously this is a test flight build. So that's the reason that you'd want to use those emoticons. There's also different tournaments to fight in. Currently, I've only got access to the first one. And you know, it's from training to medium, hard, extreme. You rock up to extreme and things can get pretty tough, as you might expect. The whole thing just looks super slick, really lovely. I feel like the combat just works. Like, it just feels like a simulation of fighting that is exciting. It definitely doesn't feel like Street Fighter. Like, if that's what you want, it's not that. It feels a lot more like Yi Kung Fu, back in those old school PC days when it was possible to do different kinds of fighting games, it feels a lot like kind of some of the realism that those games were striving for. It feels a little bit like Kengo or Bushido Blade or something like that, in that, you can get absolutely destroyed very quickly if you're not careful. And there's definitely this emphasis on positioning, on fighting, on getting in a hit when you feel you can. You see, I'm getting absolutely dominated here by this high level opponent. I'm really looking forward to finding out how good the multiplayer is. I think that'll be key for this game's longevity. And trying out some of the different characters that are going to be available, seeing how the different dojos and environments, how they work. But keep this one on your radar. This is the Taekwondo Game, and it's not available just yet, not even in soft launch. But make a mental note, because I think this one might just surprise you when it eventually comes out. This is Peter with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.